Hello everyone, this is Gage from Gundabad Smith, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys yet another Third Age Reforged online multiplayer battle replay. This one actually is a 4 versus 4 on, I believe, large setting, and this is a pretty, technically I guess it's a siege on the Iron Hills map. This is a very fun map because it's almost like Thranduil's Halls, where instead of having just like a normal stone castle, it's just almost like natural defenses. So of course the attackers did get more money this battle because the other players did get to defend this area, which I must say, Tundra's Fox and Master Blaster had some very cool spots to defend. So the other two players over here, the other two defenders, but I think both Master Blaster and Tundra's Fox had definitely the cooler areas to defend. So without any further ado, I will go ahead and go over the army compositions, starting off with the person who sent me the replay, and that player is none other than Pharaoh, who is commanding an army of Gundabad. So his general unit is the Witch Realm Blackguard, a very nice sword and shield unit. They are AP, which is rather uncommon for most sword and shield units. However, this is of course a General's Bodyguard unit. He also has 2 units of Rudour Berserkers, who are very cost effective and extremely deadly in melee. 2 units of Gundabad Guard, who are decent mid-tier spearmen. They do have multiple hit points. 2 units of Witch Realm Pikemen. Only 1 unit, surprisingly, of Black Urks of the Mountain. 2 units of Guardians of Karn Doom. 2 units of War Guiders actually, who actually are a lot better than they used to be because they are do have hit points and they are effective against Cav. Actually, I take it back. He actually did have 2 units of Black Orcs of the Mountain. I did not see them apparently. He also has 2 units of Witch Realm Scourge Raiders. Definitely really nasty in melee, however, because they do not have shields, they can get shot down pretty easily. He also has 1 unit of the very fearsome Witch Realm Hammer Guard, and 1 unit of Snow Trolls. In addition to this, he has 1 Catapult, 1 unit of Numenorean Shadow Guard, which is only archer unit, and down here he has his other unit of Witch Realm Pikemen and Black Orcs of the Mountain. So again, I was actually wrong about that. He actually had 3 units of Black Orcs of the Mountain. I must have been reading a different player's army composition. Anyway, another of the attackers is Arcturus, who's commanding the army of Arnor. He has 2 units of the incredible Knights of Anuminas, 1 Trebuchet, 1 unit of Dunedain Troll Slayers, which is up here, and this is actually the unit where his general is, which is why the unit is not hiding, because whenever a general is in the unit, it means they cannot hide. And over here he has hidden away most of his elites, that being 2 units of dismounted Arthedain Knights and extremely deadly shock infantry, however, very susceptible to arrow fire, 1 unit of dismounted Dunedain Knights, and possibly one of the best units of pikes in the game, which is the Arnor Gate Guards. And over here is where his main infantry is. He has 2 units of Dunedain Wardens, a pretty nice mid-tier spearman unit, 2 units of Arnor Pikemen, and 4 units of Arthedain Men-at-Arms. In addition to this, he also has some Dunedain Rangers hidden over here. However, because they are hidden, and I didn't really go too far ahead in this battle replay, I was not able to actually find the exact number. He probably has around 2 or 3, though. And the third attacking army is being commanded by Ragnar, who's playing as Rhun. He has 4 units of Lok Gamprim. 1 is over here, the other 3 are in loose formation up there. 2 units of Lok Scionrim, the very nice, effective against armor spearman unit that Rhun has. They also are HP. He also has 1 unit of Dragon's Wrath Guildsmen, 1 unit of Camille's Chosen, and a couple units, maybe just 1 actually, of Camille's Shadow Guard, which is hiding right over here. And over here is where he has most of his army. You can see his other units of Lok Gamprim all in loose formation. 1 unit of Lok Flagrim, 1 unit of Lok Narim, 2 units of Clan Crossbows, 1 unit of Balkath Sapphire Bladesmen, 1 unit of Balkath Tribesmen, and he also has, yes, 1 Ballista, 1 unit of the Bodyguard, and 1 unit of the Camille's Dragonites. And in addition to this, he also has 1 unit of the Dragon's Wrath Crossbowmen. The fourth and final attacking player is commanding the army of the Dwarves. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. I'm just going to call him Mario62, because that's pretty much all I can read. Anyway, he has 3 units of Ironfoot Crossbows. 1 is right here. The other 2, yes, are right here in the front. He also has 2 units of Ironfoot Spears, 2 units of Ironfoot Pikes, which are back around here defending his backside. He also has surprisingly only 1 unit of Ironfoot Warriors, because they are a very cost-effective unit. They are very cheap with pretty incredible attack and melee stats. However, they are very slow, which is of course the main problem with all the Dwarves. And he also has 1 unit of Erebor Infantry and 1 unit of Ironfoot Guard. Both of those are do both have multiple hit points. However, the Erebor Infantry do actually have AP. And back here, you can see he also has 1 unit of Ironfoot Axe Throwers, and way back here you can see his main force of elites. He has a ton of elites. He has 1 unit of Khazad-dûm Reclaimers, which is an incredible axe throwing unit. They are not to be underestimated in melee, because they do actually come out with 2 come out with big two-handed axes, which are AP. 1 unit of the Sons of Fallen, who are also AP. 1 unit of Dragon Stars of Erdmithrin, who are again AP. 1 unit of Guards of Khazad-dûm, who are also AP. 1 unit of Mithril, which is where his generals, who are also AP, and 1 unit of Blacklock Engineers. And that pretty much wraps up the army compositions for the attackers. So we'll go over here to the host's army, and he is Baconfish, commanding the army of Dol Amroth. He has 1 unit of Haven Guard back here. Yes, that is. Yes, it is right over here, which is where his general is. You can see him right there in his nice shiny armor. He also has 3 units of Edhelland Halberdiers, very nice mid-tier Halberdier unit, however they are, of course, easily shot down. 3 units of Tirith Air Marksmen. He could also possibly have a unit of Nimrodale Rangers, but I do not know because they can't actually hide. He also has 3 units of Dol Amroth Pikemen, a pretty cheap pike unit, but yeah, they're pretty cost-effective if used correctly. 2 units of Dismounted Swan Knights, 2 units of Tarnostian Guard, 2 units of Tirith Air Wardens, 1 unit of Knights of the Silver Swan, and 1 unit of White Knights. So he has a lot of spears and pikes, in addition to a lot of halberds, actually. And so one of the 2 elven armies is Son of Dunedain, commanding the army of the High Elves. He has 1 unit of Eldraine Lancers, 1 unit of Fallas Lords over there, which is where his general is, 1 unit... Oh, my bad. 1 unit of Noratino Warriors, 1 Ballista, 1 unit of Sword Quendi. Surprisingly small amount of Sword Quendi, actually. I find they're actually pretty effective because they are very cheap and actually not bad in melee. 2 units of Eldraine Archers, who are, of course, AP. 3 units of Eldraine Spearmen back there, 2 units of Eldraine Swordsmen, and way back here he has 2 units of Mithlond Nobles. And over here we can see Master Blaster's army. He has 1 unit of Sindar Archers, 2 units of Sylvan Heavy Archers. 1 is right here, very nicely positioned, and the other is over here on this hill, which will have a great position to fire down on any enemies advancing on this hill. Back here he also has 1 unit of the Galadrim Veteran Warriors. Yeah, the Galadrim Veteran Warriors, which is where his general is. He also has, let me see here, I believe 3 units of the Sylvan Axemen. He also has 4 units of the Woodland Warriors, actually. And I believe he also has 3 to 4 units of the Sylvan Silver Spears. 2 are up here, and I believe 2 are also down there. You can also see some Sylvan Axemen and some more Woodland Warriors back there as well. And to round up his force, he has 1 unit of the Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen. So the 4th and final defending army is Tundra's Fox, commanding the army of the Orcs of the Misty Mountains. He has 1 unit of Orc Bodyguards, which is where his general is. It is, of course, the bodyguard unit, so it is AP. I'm pretty sure that this is the only, yeah, this is what I was confused by. So he only has 1 unit of the Black Orcs of the Mountain, actually. He also has 2 units of the Blackback Mountain Berserkers hiding somewhere over here, but I could not actually find them because they are, of course, hiding. He has 1 Catapult over there, 2 units of Heavy Goblin Crossbows, 2 units of Mountain Uruk Archers, that's right, 4 units of Heavy Goblin Infantry, 2 units of Heavy Goblin Halberds, 1 unit of Snow Trolls, 1 unit of Warg Skirmishers, 1 unit of the Bulwark's Champions, and 2 units of the Blackwatch Legion, who really don't have very many, like, they're really not good at killing anything, but they can definitely bog down the enemy. So if he can bog down the enemy long enough to get his crossbows working against the forces that are attacking these Blackwatch Legion, he will rack up a lot of kills, definitely. Yes, and that is pretty much everything. He does have 1 unit of Goblin Infantry down there, 1 of the 4, and his other unit of Mountain Uruk Archers. And I'm pretty sure that is it. So without any further ado, we will go ahead and start off. Pretty much in the beginning, just like every siege or battle in any sense, I guess, there's just going to be a bit of artillery phase followed by some cavalry fighting. You can see that Tundra's Fox is... it looks like he's actually trying to move it back, but I'm pretty sure he will move it back forward here a little bit, because obviously if he can get his catapult up here, it'll be at a very nice position to fire at anything down there. Looks like the Trebuchet of Arnor is actually firing right now. Oh my goodness, that's incredible, because the Trebuchets are known for being incredibly inaccurate, however they are, of course, super long ranged. So that is really unfortunate for Tundra's Fox. But he still does have 2 left, and I feel like it's going to be very unlikely that he's going to be, that Arcturus is going to be able to take out any other of the catapults. We can see some rain and fog starting to come in more now. Pharaoh is trying to move some Numenor and Shadowguard as well as his catapult right now, and the Trebuchet of Arcturus is still trying to take out this catapult. You can also see some Heavy Goblin Crossbows coming in to their positions, and over here you can see some Heavy Goblin Infantry and the Mountain Uruk Archers. No, they must have already run up there. Have retreated a little bit further back. But yeah, was trying to do my own battle of this one actually because it's such a fun map to play in, but unfortunately my internet was uncharacteristically bad that day, so I wasn't able to do it. Actually, looks like some elven reinforcements are being brought over by Master Blaster, which I thought was rather interesting because he does not have a huge amount of infantry over here. I mean, he does have a lot of the woodland warriors and sylvan axemen and such, but I mean, like in numbers wise, he's pretty thin on the ground, to be honest. Yes, and it looks like over here Dol Amroth is starting to move forward, because if you are the host in a 4v4 of this map, the host player does kind of get the short end of the stick in the deployment phase. He has to deploy somewhere over here, which means he has to run his army all the way up here. However, if I were him, I would probably move my troops a little... Okay, yeah, that is what he's doing. I was going to say, if he deploys right here, he's going to be pretty open on these flanks right here, so yeah, it looks like he is going to retreat his forces right around here, which is, of course, a very nice area to deploy them in. You can see some, yeah, you can see the ballista and some elven ray archers moving forward as well. What is it we have over here? Oh, yes, so Dol Amroth is actually trying to get his cavalry into the game right away. I assume he was trying to chase after those iron-foot crossbows with these Knights of the Silver Swan. And right here, these white knights are actually going to charge straight into these loose formation log flagrum, which will take out a lot of them, because even though the white knights are a melee cav, we will be able to very well off the charge. You can see a lot of those log flagrum going down right there. Oh, as well as those iron-foot crossbowmen getting a brutal front charge right there. That is definitely not good for both the Dwarven and Runic players. However, because of the presence of these Camul's Dragon Knights and Bodyguard, Baconfish is going to try to retreat some of his cav a little ways. And yes, it looks like actually that the Knights of Anuminos from Arcturus are also coming over here to try to give their support. I believe it was a little bit of an overkill, because you can see that the clan crossbows are actually firing right now, and because of the Bodyguard and the Camul's Dragon Knights, I feel like Rhun would have probably been able to deal with Dol Amroth's cav. But nevertheless, Arcturus is going to bring over his Knights of Anuminos at least a little ways. Ooh, yeah, those crossbows are going to do work against that cavalry. Now, unfortunately, it's rather hard actually to deploy troops up on this hill, so I assume that's why Master Blaster has put some on the top and then some at the bottom. Now, that is a nice idea. However, the troops on the bottom will get taken out, or will be able to get taken out by cav charges relatively easily, even in shield formation or shield wall formation, especially against something like the Knights of Anuminos or Camul's Dragon Knights. Looks like Pharaoh's actually sending over his 2 units of War Riders as well, so there's a lot of cav going on over here. And some Ironfoot spears are being brought forward as well. And it looks like actually the whole Dwarven army is advancing. Looks like the crossbows are marching forward as well as the catapult, and just pretty much the whole army. Probably trying to get that catapult in range as well as the crossbows, because the majority of the Dol Amroth players' army is actually pikes and halberds, which means they are going to get shot to pieces really, really quickly if he cannot silence the enemy missile units. Yep, the War Riders are still just kind of sitting around here. Looks like the Ballista's still firing. Oh, and actually looks like some Noratino warriors maybe, yeah, the Noratino warriors actually took a couple volleys off on those War Riders. And over here, let's see what's going on. Looks like the Dwarven player is really trying to get around this flank. I think that might work okay. Just the thing is that because the Dwarven player does not really have that many units, it might be hard to not get surrounded unless Rhun moves up his infantry at the same time. You can see the Tarnassian Guard, Dol Amroth pikemen moving forward, as well as his, yeah, there are Nimrodel Rangers, who are of course AP. Must say, I really do like the look of Dol Amroth, but I must also say that I do prefer Gondor better than Dol Amroth. Except for the fact that both the Arthedain Men-at-Arms and Dol Amroth Men-at-Arms are much better than the Gondor Infantry at the moment. I believe the Arthedain Men-at-Arms are quite a bit more expensive than the Gondor Infantry, and I'm pretty sure that last time I checked, the Men-at-Arms were maybe around the same cost, maybe a little bit more. However, the Dol Amroth Men-at-Arms and the Arthedain Men-at-Arms do have a much higher attack stats, as well maybe slightly higher defense stats. However, the Gondor infantry does actually have the 8 shield bonus last time I checked, and the Arthurian men at arms only had 6, so that of course is nice. The ballista is trying to take some shots on those white knights. I actually was able to take out a couple of witches, of course. This is of course a very good target because it is a very expensive, very deadly cav unit. Pharaoh's War Riders are still over there. Oh, taking out 2 of them right there. Possibly more. 3. And 4 and 5. That's very unfortunate for those white knights. And it looks like Baconfish is trying to move his Knights of the Silver Swan around here somewhere to maybe get a charge off. Looks like he's going to go for the Gambrine, which isn't going to be a terrible idea. Like, I mean, if they were in formation and in Spearwall formation, it would of course not be a good idea, but because they are loose, they might be able to get a halfway decent charge off. Oh, I take it back. They kind of hesitated a bit because of the archer or crossbow fire. Ooh. And because of that, they're going to get sandwiched by these bodyguard and Camille's Dragon Knights. So very unfortunate indeed for Baconfish. Oh yeah, those poor Knights of the Silver Swan are just getting absolutely butchered. They're actually even wavering. Oh, that was definitely a very good trap, if that was what he meant to do anyway by Ragnar. Just that entire unit of the Knights of the Silver Swan just decimated. And if Baconfish isn't careful, he's just going to keep losing white knights over and over to that ballista, which is definitely not good, because it is a very expensive unit. Oh, now the ballista of the High Elves is actually trying to take out some of these Gambrine, however, because they are in loose formation, it won't do too much damage. And it actually looks like the Warg Skirmishers and Bolg's Champions of Tundra's Fox are being moved over here as well as some Dunedain Rangers. And it looks like a lot of the Arnor infantry has been moved over here kind of by Rhun. I believe that was mostly because of the catapult of Tundra's Fox was firing, and he did not want to take any unnecessary losses. Oh! Dang, those Rudour Berserkers and looks like some of the Black Urks of the Mountain taking some deadly catapult hits from Tundra's Fox. He's still actually trying to arch them over. Looks like he only has 1 catapult left, actually. Oh, now the Numenor and Shadow Guard are getting taken out by that artillery. And let's go ahead and look over here at the defense that Tundra's Fox has set up. So, his front line consists of 1 unit of Goblin Halberd, not surprising. However, they are going to take a beating from the arrows. However, because Gundabad only has 1 unit of archers, it shouldn't be too much of a worry. Especially because there are heavy Goblin crossbowmen right behind them. He's got some heavy Goblin infantry, more halberds. Okay, not bad. Warg Riders being brought over. Looks like they have taken quite a few more casualties. And the Wargs of Tundra's Fox are retreating. Looks like maybe. I don't know what they're doing yet. Maybe he just brought them over to make sure that none of the attacking cavalry decided to charge straight into the spearmen or Sylvan Axemen. Let's look over here then. Oh no, the ballista of the High Elven player is starting to have some troubles slipping off that mountain. Okay, yeah, there looks like there's some Eldrainway spearmen right here. The front line of pikes. The archers, actually, of Baconfish are moving around this way. Oh, and that is because the crossbows of the Dwarven player have gotten into range, and they actually were firing until they were silenced by these white knights who, even though they are a great unit, they are going to get cut down relatively quickly by these Ironfoot spears because they are effective against cavalry. So it looks like he's trying to return fire at these crossbows with his own archers, which is of course not a bad idea. However, these Warg Riders of Pharaoh, I thought they were going to go after the Tirthir marksmen, but they decided instead to go after the white knights, who are starting to drop. And the looks like the Iron Foot Crossbowmen are still firing at these White Knights rather than any infantry. Let's look at what's going on over here. Oh, the trebuchet of Arcturus is trying to go after this cavalry of Tundra's Fox, but just narrowly missing. Looks like they're actually taking a bit of, yeah, archer fire from those Dunedain Rangers as well. It won't be so much, it really won't be much of an issue for these Bolgs champions, but the Warwick skirmishers will get shot down somewhat easily, more easily so than the Bolgs champions, that is. They are, of course, I believe they do have hit points. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. Oh, there we go. There's that cav charge into the tier 30 marksman. Apparently, Baconfish was not paying attention. Seeing a brutal charge right there on his tier 30 marksman from those Ward Raiders. Definitely not what you want this early in the game. Okay, yeah. The Ward Raiders are wavering, and it looks like they're getting... Nope, only losing a few, actually. Only using 4. Okay, they actually routed. And here are the Bolgs champions. I don't know what they're going after. I assume they're going after these crossbows. Yes, that is what they're doing. And the catapult of the Dwarven player is actually in... Oh, gotten into position and already is wreaking havoc among the Dol Amroth player, taking out a lot of that Tarnostian guard. Ooh, those Bolgs champions are getting crossbowed from point blank range. That is definitely not something you want as the Moria player. And it actually looks like Rhun has advanced pretty far. You can see a lot of his infantry marching forward. However, none of it has actually come into the melee fight yet. There's some more skirmishers there. And the Elronway Lancers of Son of the Dunedain are also coming over here to try to help out these Bolgs champions, who look like they actually were able to get in amongst this catapult crew. However, if they're not careful, they're going, yep, there's the cavalry of Ragnar, and the infantry of the Dwarven players right here as well, so he might not be able to escape very easily. Oh, he's just got to keep going. You gotta go. Oh yeah, a lot of the Bolgs champions going down right there. The Eldar Inway Lancers look like they may be going after something. Nope, they're just moving around a little bit, as there also looks to be some Knights of Anumas coming over as well. And again, Baconfish is, like, he's being really aggressive with his archers, putting them, well, I guess not too aggressive because they are right behind the pikemen, but last time he really wasn't paying attention enough, I guess, because he did take a lot of losses from that cav charge. So if he's not careful, it's going to happen again. Ooh! And the ballista of Ragnar going after these pikemen, which is of course a very excellent idea because pikemen out of formation and loose are really not that effective at all. But if they stay right here, then they're just going to get ballisted like crazy. However, most of the infantry of the Dwarven and Runic players is pretty far away, so he shouldn't have to worry about that too much just yet. Bolgs champions look like they're again going to charge at something. Archer crossbowmen at 58 and 27. However, it looks like he still probably has his Blacklock engineers and maybe the other unit of crossbows. Yeah, he still has one pretty healthy unit of iron for crossbows, actually. Ooh, they're trying to get around the edge to again go after the catapult, but these Sons of the Fallen are ready for them in shield wall, and because their spearmen will have effectiveness against cavalry, not to mention the fact that they are also AP. So if Tundra's Fox wants to keep his Bolgs champions alive, he's really going to have to move them quick. Oh, that might be the nail in the coffin for them. The bodyguard moving in now, trying to slow them down enough for these pikemen and the Sons of the Fallen to get around them. Ooh, yeah, a lot of those Bolgs champions going down right there. Oh, I'll pause it just for a second. Looks like there might be a charge again on the archers of Dol Amroth. This time by the Knights of the Knights of Anuminas. Oh, they gotta run. Okay, no, they should be okay, especially because these pikemen are moving forward. The pikes are going to be too slow to actually catch them. However, if he just keeps charging them forward like this into the pikemen, the Knights of Anuminas are going to take quite a few casualties from that. Ooh, those Nimrodel Rangers barely escaping, actually losing quite a few. They were at 103, now they're at 92, which is not good because they are a very expensive archer unit, not to mention the fact that they are AP, which will be very important against the heavily armored units of the Dwarves and Rhun. Those Bullock's champions still getting chased down. It also looks like they may be getting crossbowed. Saw a little bit of red popping up. Yeah, so the Dwarven player has a relatively small army. I was rather surprised that he didn't bring maybe less elites and more Ironfoot warriors, but no, he definitely went for a quality over quantity army. Oh, now there's only 2 Bulk champions. We're just getting chased down like crazy. And that looks like, yep, that's it. The Bulk champions have been taken care of. The ballista is still firing. Oh, actually, firing at the ballista of Ragnar, surprisingly. I wonder if his ballista actually has taken any loss. It looks like, yes, actually, there is, oh, 1 ballista at least is down. 3 of the High Elven ballistas are actually already down. There's only 1 left. So if he's not careful, he is going to lose his ballista entirely. Looks like a lot of the Dunedain Rangers were actually taken out. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how. There's just a lot of dead Dunedain Rangers. It could be because of the superior range of these Sylvan heavy archers, or it could have just been a cav charge. I'm going to guess it was a just the archers, because they are, of course, so deadly from a long distance. Especially because the elves have an incredible accuracy percentage. 2 units of Arthedain men-at-arms marching forward, as well as the trebuchet is beginning to move forward. And over here, it looks like Gundabad is still just kind of sitting, waiting. Doesn't look like it's taken any more losses to that catapult of Tundra's Fox. But the 3rd catapult is still there. I assume he's just saving his ammo for when Gundabad maybe clumps up his forces more over here in that choke point. Oh, we may get to see some infantry fighting soon, actually. Nope, I take it back. We're just going to see more crossbows firing. Looks like the Ironfoot crossbowmen are going to move forward, try to soften up the Dol Amroth's position by firing some crossbows at these probably pikemen and Tarnostian guard. However, there are some Galadrim veteran warriors, you can see right here, already firing at these Ironfoot crossbowmen. Oh, who are just taking absolutely horrendous casualties. However, the main thing that is bad about the Galadrim veteran warriors is they are, of course, they have really, really low ammo, to be honest. They are, they do seem to be more melee focused. Also looks like the Warg skirmishers of Tundra's Fox are coming over to try to take out these Ironfoot crossbows. The only unfortunate thing is these are only 2 out of 4 crossbow units that the Dwarven player actually has. Not to mention the fact that Rhun actually has 2 of his own crossbow units as well. He must have already thrown his javelins because he's opting instead to discharge for them instead of just of the javelins. And the cavalry of Rhun is again coming back to try to help out his Dwarven ally. Looks like a pretty big march right now is happening. Actually, I take it back. I feel like it might have been a cav charge that had killed all these Dunedain Rangers, because a few of them seem to actually have their swords out, and maybe it was those Warg skirmishers. I don't know. The catapult of the dwarf player is still moving, or still firing, not moving, and it looks like Arcturus is actually beginning to move forward a lot of his infantry. You can see some men-at-arms, some pikemen, Arthedain knights, and some Dunedain Rangers as well. So it looks like he is going to actually attack the Sylvan player, who apparently also has a couple units, or maybe just one, of Sylvan Staff Masters, who are really just there to kind of bog down the enemy. Looks like there's actually a pretty decent trebuchet hit right here as well. And over here, see the Ironfoot Spears got really close to these Tarnassian Guard, but decided to turn back. I assumed that the Ironfoot Spears were just chasing down those Warg Skirmishers who had charged these Ironfoot crossbows. Catapult is still up there on that nice hill position. So overall, so far anyway, it's been a very slow, thought-out, methodical attack by the attackers. Really not that entertaining to watch, but I assure you it does heat up fairly soon. Oh, those Knights of Annuminas looked like they were going to try to charge this gap right here, but they thought better of it because they are getting skirmished down right now by these Sylvan Heavy Archers. Ooh, taking a lot of losses actually right there. That is not good for the Arnor player. If I were Master Blaster, I would probably be targeting down this pile right here because mostly these dismounted Arthurian Knights, because if you do allow them to get into melee, they will shred through a lot of units. Not to mention the fact that any missed shots do have the chance of going to the Arnor pikemen, who are of course susceptible to arrow fire because they do not have shields. Here's the first infantry fight, looks like. These Arthurian men-at-arms slowly making their way towards these Sylvan Silver Spears. Both units of these are actually in shield wall. And there we go. One brave man charging in first, followed by the rest of his friends. Oh, and there's the charge from the cavalry right there, going into these Sylvan Axemen, who took a lot of losses actually. Ooh, probably should have just kept his Sylvan Axemen behind these stakes, so that when the Knights of Annuminas charged in, they would have just gotten killed on the stakes. Looks like these Sindar Archers of Master Blaster are also here targeting these Knights of Annuminas, which is not a bad idea because these Sindar Archers are AP. And the second unit of Arthurian arms charging in, exposing this gap right here, charging straight into those Sylvan Staff Masters. And right here you can see that these Sylvan Silver Spears are going down very quickly actually. I was rather surprised with this. They were just getting absolutely cut down by these Arthurian arms. So Master Blaster should definitely commit these Woodland Wars if he wants to keep his foothold down here in this middle area. You can see some Warg Skirmishers there as well. And over here, if I can actually look at the map right, yes, the main infantry fight over here between Dol Amroth and the High Elves has begun. You can see a lot of Lope Gamprim fighting with these Dol Amroth pikemen, who are really doing much worse than I had expected them to be doing. They are taking a lot of losses very quickly. Over here you can see the Ironfoot Spears marching forward, again not charging in quite yet, but they are of course getting close, and you can see the catapult is firing as well. Now targeting possibly these Tier 3 Wardens or the dismounted Swan Knights. And back there you can see the 3 units of Edhel and Halberdiers, as well as the Haven Guard. Now I sincerely hope that these archers are firing at the clan crossbows. Yes, that does look like what's happening right now. You can see the Elven Lancers are actually also charging at those clan crossbows. This unit of clan crossbows is down to 6. The Lok Narim are firing. Lok Seinrim are still back there. And over here, Ironfoot Pikemen. Okay, yes, here we go. Some Ironfoot Spears charging up against some Tarnassian Guard. I feel like the Tarnassian Guard would probably win just because they do have way more numbers, but I'm not absolutely sure. You also see some Ironfoot Pikemen marching forward, and back there you can see the absolute just mass of elites beginning to move forward as well. Let's go ahead and take a look over here, because the Baconfish is trying to flank around, possibly. Yes, he's trying to flank around with these Tier 3 Wardens, which is not a bad idea because right here these Lok Gamprim are starting to make their way through these Dol Amroth Pikemen. It actually does not look like the Dol Amroth Pikemen are not in guard mode, rather. Oh, actually he's helping out the unit over here, which is of course very nice. However, because these Tier 3 Wardens have their backs exposed, they are most definitely going to get charged in the back by these Camille's Shadow Guard, or just javelined by these Balkoth Sapphire Bladesmen or Balkoth Tribesmen. Not to mention the fact that there are some Lorc Scion marching forward. So if I were him, I would try to pull them back as quickly as possible, because otherwise they're just going to get sandwiched, just like these Lorc Flagler here. So some Ironfoot Guard actually moving forward as well, trying to outflank these Tier 3 Wardens. And some pikemen versus pikemen action going on, as well as some Ironfoot Warriors moving forward. The unit Tier 3 Wardens is over there. And we'll go ahead and look over here at the fight that's going on between Gundabad and Orcs of the Misty Mountains, because it has finally picked up. You can see that I'll pause it actually. It's that the Gundabad player has taken quite a few losses. It looks like a lot of his pikemen actually, I believe, have been shot down, and I'm guessing that is by the Tundra's Fox's just massive archers up there. So the Gundabad player definitely needs to get up there as quickly as possible, because a lot of his infantry, well, not a lot, but a good portion of his infantry does not have shields, like the Witchram pikemen and the Black Urks of the mountain. Looks like he also is trying to get his Numenorian Shadow Guard over here to try to get some good shots off on those heavy goblin halberds. Oh, and infantry, it looks like. Now in a 1v1, like just unit on unit, I do feel like the heavy goblin infantry would most definitely lose to these Black Urks of the mountain, so yes, definitely. Tundra's Fox is going to have to rely on his crossbow fire to help out his main line of infantry right here. So we'll go ahead and watch this charge. Take back, it wasn't much of a charge. Ooh, yeah, this unit of Black Urks of the Mountain is actually all the way down to 90 already before they had even fought once, before they had even swung a sword. So, Pharaoh is really taking a lot of losses at the moment. Ooh, that crossbow fire is just deadly. Just really melting all those units. However, you can see that Pharaoh's bringing forward his Numenorian Shadow Guard, so he probably should target them. It looks like he is, maybe with those Black Urk Archers, or no, Mountain Urk Archers, my bad. And you can see just the horde, the myriad of Gundabad forces are marching forward right now. Tundra's Fox should really try to get his catapult working, because that is some really nice blob troops to fire his catapult at. Oh, dang, those Witchrealm pikemen just getting absolutely butchered by those crossbows. And yes, the crossbows are also firing at these Numenorian Shadow Guard, which is a good idea. However, if he is going to probably use a lot of ammo, or a decent amount of ammo, firing at them. And yes, you can see, yeah. So he is marching down one unit of Blackwatch Legion as well as a unit of Black Urks of the Mountain to try to help out this main infantry fight. Ooh, a lot of those Black Urks going down right there. Oh, looks like some Gundabad Guard have actually arrived, as well as some Witchrealm Scourge Raiders. Blackguard, Hammer Guard, not far behind. I don't know. I mean, I would just, he has a lot of archers. Tundra's Fox does have a lot of archers. I'd probably focus this unit of crossbows here on the main infantry fight, just right here, probably on those Numenorian Shadow Guard, at least until they were dealt with. Then everything else, I would probably try to target those elites, like the Witchrealm Hammer Guard, maybe even the Rudar Berserkers or Guardians of Karndun. And probably these Scourge Raiders too, because they are a very effective, cost-effective unit. It can really do work. You can actually see some Black Urk versus Black Urk going on right now. And I think we'll go ahead and take a look at what's going on between Arnor and Master Blaster. We haven't seen much of that just yet. Looks like Arnor has pretty easily actually broken through Master Blaster's front lines. You can see these Arthane men-at-arms still marching forward with a couple of those Knights of Numenos. Ooh, you can see, yeah, a lot of dead elves right here. A decent amount of dead Arnor troops, but mostly it's elves. You can actually see, I don't know if that's Sylvan Heavy Archers, or maybe Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen? I don't actually quite know. Oh, it looks like some pikemen are moving forward as well as some dismounted Dunedain knights. And are the dismounted Arthedain knights up here as well? Does not look like it. I mean, if I were Master Blaster, I'd probably try to wrap around this unit of Arthedain men at arms just real quickly, at least to get a charge bonus off before any more units of the armor player have been brought forward. And over here you can actually see some archers have been committed. A lot of archers have been committed, as well as some Mithlon nobles to fighting these Lok Sion Rhun, as well as some more Gamprin. Ragnar brought a lot of Gamprin. Ooh, but the main line of Dol Amroth is starting to falter. You can see these Autumn Spearmen still fighting hard. The pikemen pretty much non-existent at the moment, and some dismounted Swan Knights have also been committed. However, they're going to have a very tough time of it against these Camille's Chosen. Some Nimmerdale Rangers committed. Oh, looks like actually over here the Dwarves have completely broken this left battle line. The Dwarves have just shredded through. I don't know if that was just axe throwing or maybe crossbows, but the whole left flank of Dol Amroth has just been completely wiped away like it was nothing, like nothing was even there. You can see some Tier 3 marksmen trying to slow the progress of these dwarves, as well as some Mithlon nobles. I feel like it's probably time for Baconfish to start moving forward, hit these Edhel and Halberdiers, or it's time for some of the Dunedain to march forward some more troops as well. Oh, looks like he also has one of the Nolder Elder Nobles as well. So yeah, I think we can watch this fight for a little bit. Then maybe we'll go back to the Gundabad one. Oh yes, the Rhun is starting to break through. These Elder Spearmen are starting to falter really. There's a pretty big hole right here. And right here, yes, the dismounted Swan Knights are down to 45. This unit is. Camille's Chosen still at 77. Looks like those Galadriel and veteran warriors are trying to get in to a better position. Looks like some sword Quendir are also being brought over. Ooh, yeah, geez. The Dol Amroth player is just getting melted at the moment. The Highland player really hasn't committed that much, to be honest, yet. Airborne infantry, Iron for pikemen. Iron for axe throwers are actually getting targeted by some archers right now. Mythical Guard also moving forward. Ooh, yeah, there are a lot of dead Tarnostian Guard right there. Yeah, I feel like some of the Dunedain should come either. I feel like the Dol Amroth player and yeah, I feel like the Dol Amroth player and the Highland player either need to work together and just do a full-scale retreat and make this their second battle line, which looks like they could be what they're doing, or they need to just commit everything. So if they are not able to communicate well enough, then I feel like this is going to be very, very tough for them. Because it looks right now like Dol Amroth is wanting to set up another battle line, but it looks like the Highland player might not have gotten the idea. No, because he's charging forward a full health unit of Eldermost Spearmen, which if he just leaves them there unsupported, is going to be pretty much a waste. Charging first at the Gamprim and Signrim and then at the Camille's Chosen. So we'll go ahead and take a look over here because it looks like a lot more of Arnor's forces have been committed. It looks like some Dunedain Wardens are there, as well as some Arnor Pikemen. Right now, the Lothlorien still seems to be doing okay. We'll take a look over here as well. Ooh, my goodness. Looks like, yeah, the Blackbacks are in the fight. They're going to get a lot of kills. It looks like Snow Trolls from maybe both sides. No, just Trench's Fox has committed his own Snow Trolls. Maybe? No. I can't see. I'm trying to see if there's Snow Trolls from both sides actually, but I can't quite tell. Yeah, there actually is. It was Snow Trolls versus Snow Trolls for a little bit, but yeah, all the elites of both the Orcs of the Misty Mountains and Gundabad are active right now. You can see some Witcher Realm Hammerguard there, as well as some Witcher Realm Blackguard, the Rudar Berserkers, Guardians of Cardoon. Looks like actually some reinforcements from Master Blaster being brought over as well. Looks like the catapult of both Tundra's Fox and Pharaoh are trying to get active, but These snow trolls being super brave, they actually were able to take out the catapult crew of Pharaoh. That is a very unfortunate loss indeed. However, it looks like most of Tundra's Fox's, yeah, it looks like all of Tundra's Fox's missile units are out of ammo now, so that is very unfortunate indeed. So he will not be able to take advantage of these Witcher and Pikemen having no shields. Snow Trolls now going after what's left of those numerous Shadow Guard. However, it looks like they are going to get surrounded by those pikemen. So definitely pretty insane fighting going on so far. Really a fun battle to commentate over. Those blackbacks, man, they're I can just already see they're racking up so many kills. Catapult trying to get into range. Heavy Goblin crossbows, maybe they still have some ammo left, as well as the Orc bodyguard over here. Take another look over here, because more infantry is being brought forward. Some more Arthurian men-at-arms, but for the most part, nothing really major has changed. Mainly what's going on big is the fight between the High Elves and Dol Amroth. Well, the High Elves and Dol Amroth versus Rhun and the Dwarves. It's this long line of Edhelland Halberdiers has been set up, so they have yeah, so they pretty much have just abandoned the main battle line already. Looks like definitely Dol Amroth coming off the worst for that fight. You can see some guards of Khazad-dûm, Ironfoot warriors, Dragon Slayers. Ooh, pikemen taking some arrow fire from the Noldor Elder Nobles, maybe? These Balkoth Sapphire Bladesmen and Balkoth Tribesmen are in an excellent position to throw out those Halberdiers, who will just get absolutely shredded if they're not careful. Yep, that's what they're going for. Ooh, quite a number of them actually going down. Which is why, of course, what's left of the missile forces of Dol Amroth and the Hells are trying to take out these Javelin men. So you can see they're really starting to do a number on those Edhelland Halberdiers, which is not good because they really do not have a whole lot of infantry left. And if the Dwarven player actually has any crossbows left, I'm sure he would try to move them forward to try to do a lot of kills. Yes, some Blacklock Engineers, Ironfoot Axe Throwers, and Khazad-dûm Reclaimers. All missile troops will be able to do a great deal of damage to the main line of Dol Amroth and the High Elves. Ironfoot crossbowmen there as well. Okay, yes. Looks like the infantry fight has begun again. Tier 30 marksman versus Dragon's Wrath guildsmen. Ooh, Dragon's Wrath crossbowmen. If they are able to get into position, they will absolutely shred through this main battle line. Elven archers look like they're probably out of ammo, trying to fight against these Dragon Slayers. Ironfoot pikemen over here trying to, yeah, Ironfoot pikemen and airborne infantry over here, hopefully trying to exploit this rather weak left flank. And some Sons of the Fallen also marching forward. Don't know why Bacon Fish is actually moving these guys forward. There's really no point, but you know, whatever. Balkoth tribesmen still firing, or trying to fire. Ironfoot guard there. Still a large amount of Rune infantry left, Runic infantry. Not to mention those 63 Kumals chosen. Ooh. Edhelland Halberdiers are a very, very nice halberd unit. They're pretty cheap and not bad at all. However, against elites, they will obviously fall pretty quickly. And I think I'm going to go over here again, just because I believe the fight over here is coming to a climax, possibly. No, not really. I mean, it definitely looks like Gundabad is starting to lose this fight. You can see Heavy Goblin Crossbowmen moving forward. Actually, I take it back. This one is really just a mystery to me on who's going to win. There's still a large amount of Blackback Mountain Berserkers left. Still a decent amount of Witcher and Blackguard. I can't quite see any Hammer Guard. Only 5 Witcher and Hammer Guard. But for the most part, it looks like a lot of the infantry right here is mostly just like archers that are out of ammo. So it could very easily turn either way. But just look at the bodies so far, man. Man, orcs versus orcs always will bring a lot of dead bodies. Literal Blackguard actually getting cut down pretty quickly actually by those blackbacks, which is rather unsurprising because the blackbacks are of course an extremely deadly unit. However, by this time I assume that most of their hit points are pretty much gone because they have been fighting for quite some time. Heavy goblin crossbows, at least a while ago, they were pretty much useless in melee. But I don't know how they are now. I haven't really played as the Orcs of the Misty Mountains for quite some time. So it definitely looks like the Orcs of the Misty Mountain are starting to win the fight against Gundabad. But over here, the High Elves and Dol Amroth are still really struggling. You can actually see reinforcements being brought over by the Sylvan Elf player. You can see some Sylvan Heavy Archers as well as some Sindar Blade Masters by Master Blaster. Dragon Slayers are still at 32, and this left side is again starting to crumble. Those Blackhawk Engineers are still fighting. They must have taken quite a few. They look like they've taken a few casualties, I assume, by those Elder Nobles, but looks like not before they were able to get off some shots on maybe those Elder Spearmen. And, ooh, Khazad-dûm Reclaimers are here. They're going to do a great deal of damage to anything they fire at. Same goes for the Smithrow Guard. Elkoth Tribesmen will be able to do okay if they are able to fire. Dragon's Wrath Guildsmen. Oh my... What? What the heck is this? There are still 3 of the Snow Trolls alive. I've turned this fox. Remember, they were the ones going after the catapult over here. They must have ran all the way over here to try to help out Dol Amroth. That is rather funny. Oh, Baconfish trying to commit his Haven Guard, but they were just too far away and he was too late to actually slow down these Dragon Death Guildsmen and look Gambrin before they got around the flank of his troops, which is really not something that you want to happen. I feel like Son of the Dunedain should probably commit more of his infantry. Because you can see that a lot of the Rhun forces are starting to wither, so you should probably commit something just to kind of make that go a little bit faster. You can actually see some cavalry moving in as well. Older Elder Nobles were also being committed. Over here, the Dwarves are still going very strong. Their elite, their elites really showing how deadly they can be. Blackhawk Engineers in an excellent position up on this mountain, just firing pretty much probably down this whole battle line. Holy catapult! Looks like it's trying to go after those Haven Guard. Oh, these Blackhawk Engineers are just murdering those poor Elderly Spearmen right there. So things are definitely looking grim for the defenders right there on that flank. There goes the Gundabad General. That may actually have been pretty much it for Gundabad. After we take a quick look over here, I think I'll go over and look at what's going on with Lothlorien and Arnor. Yes, the only thing that Gundabad has left right now is this unit of Witcher Elm Pikemen. So a very hard fought battle right here between Gundabad and the Orcs of the Misty Mountains, also with a few of these Lothlorien units. But oh, look at that! Because of the flank right there, and because of the dead general, that unit of 130 Witcher Elm Pikemen actually just routed, and so that is pretty much it for Gundabad. So we'll take a look over here now at what's going on between Arnor and Lothlorien. Looks like Lothlorien's kind of is still winning. I mean, it's still pretty even. You can see some Cinder Blade Masters, a lot of dead Arnor forces, but the amount of Lothlorien troops over here has definitely gone down quite a lot. Looks like there's actually some dismounted Dunedain Knights there. Pikemen still. But Arnor still, I believe, does have a lot of infantry actually left over. Dismounted Arthedain Knights, there's dismounted Dunedain Knights again, Arnor Gate Guards, so he does still have quite a bit of elites, as well as, looks like maybe, of Dunedain Wardens. So we'll take a look over here now. Haven Guard are still fighting strong. They are, of course, an extremely deadly shock infantry unit, trying to take out these guards of Khazad-dûm. But over here, oh, again, the whole left flank of Dol Amroth and the High Elven players battle line is just going down to the elites of the dwarves. Those elites really, really prove to be extremely deadly. However, it looks like pretty much everything of runes is dealt with by now. It looks like the Elven Spearmen right now are trying to silence those Dragon's Wrath crossbowmen, which is of course not a bad idea, because at this point in time, if the crossbows are allowed to fire, they will absolutely wreck any blob of troops right here. Which is definitely not something that Dol Amroth and the High Elven players need right now, because the dwarves are of course starting to flank around. Ooh, look at those Camul's Dragon Knights and a bodyguard are also there to try to protect the Dragon's Wrath crossbows. I mean, you gotta commit. You can't really just go back and forth like this. You have to commit. Either go after them fully, or try to flank around it. You just have to commit in situations like this. I would probably go after the Dragon's Wrath crossbows, because if they are allowed to fire, they will just wreck these Noldor Elder Nobles, the Haven Guard, anything. Ooh, actually going after those Elronway Spearmen. So I guess the Orcs of the Misty Mountains has rather a difficult choice before them right now. They can either decide to go help out Lothlorien, or they can try and help out Dol Amroth. You can see that the catapult is here actually. Oh, and I don't know what the heck happened here, but looks like all of the Lothlorien forces have retreated maybe? Dunedain Troll Slayers are here. It looks like they have all retreated. No, they had retreated and now they're coming back. Cinder Archers, Gladron Veteran Warriors, Sindar Blade Masters, Woodland Warriors. Yeah, and it looks like over here that what's left of the Orcs of the Misty Mountains army is marching forward. Don't know exactly where. 39 and 22 blackbacks, Orc bodyguards, got heavy goblin infantry, crossbows. Yeah, so not a lot left in terms of quality for Tundra's Fox. Again, looks like quite a bit of indecision right here on the part of the defenders' armies. Not quite sure what they want to do yet, so that will probably cost them. Noldor Elder Nobles running back to probably probably just a wall they can get behind. Try to fight with their backs against something hard. Looks like that's proving to be the same thing with the False Lords, Haven Guard, and another unit of Sindar Blade Masters. However, this cavalry, it's always important to have cavalry late in the game, even in sieges. So I do not know if they're actually going to have enough time, these units right here, to get up to some nice hill where they can put up a last stand. I would say maybe try to get to where the Orcs of the Misty Mountains and Sylvan Elves are trying to make their last stand, but it looks like because the Sylvan Elf player is starting to crumble so quickly, they will be unable to do so. Not to mention the fact that there is that presence of cavalry right there. However, the Elves are of course very fast, so there is always that possibility that they could make it there in time. But still, a very hard decision. So this is actually rather unfortunate. Now the defenders' armies are split, which is of course not good at all. Yes, it looks like both Moria and the Sylvan Elf player, well, at least his units that he has over here, are trying to retreat all the way up this hill, maybe? Don't know. At least, yeah, looks at least somewhere up here. So definitely a very close battle. The percentage of allies killed is 86, percentage of enemies is 83. Ooh, catapult, just kind of sitting here. False Lords, trying to get in position. Same with these Haven Guard. However, I believe that at least the Dwarves still maybe have some ammo for their Blackhawk Engineers, and both Dol Amroth and the High Elves have really nothing to answer for it, unless the Mithlond Nobles have ammo, but I highly doubt that. Yeah, there still are some Ironfoot Axe Throwers as well. They could be out of ammo. I don't know. So yeah, some pretty insane battle lines so far. There were actually two battle lines right here, one right there, and then of course the rather main one right here where a lot of Dol Amroth's forces were destroyed. Khazad Reclaimers, maybe a couple crossmen over there as well. Dwarven player still has a large number of elites left. They have taken a bit of a beating, but still there is quite a lot of them left. Ooh, and that is the nail in the coffin for the Sylvan Elf players. Well, I guess technically it's Lothlorien now. Battle line right here. Cavalry coming back and smashing them in the back. Oh yeah, I don't know. I feel like they might possibly have had enough time to get over to where the Orcs of the Misty Mountains are, at least right over there. But then again, Rhun still does have cavalry, so I don't know. I think I'll go ahead and just speed this up a little bit because this is, of course, just kind of like repositioning. They're just trying to get into better positions. Helm Halberdiers maybe wanted to charge. Ooh, they're doing it in Troll Slayers. They actually still have ammo. That does definitely not bode well for Son of the Dunedain and Baconfish 302. Yeah, Rhun is pretty much dealt with. Rhun's pretty much gone. Gundabad is gone. Arnor still has quite a bit left, and the Dwarves have quite a bit left. But all four of the remnants of the defenders are really... Oh! We didn't have that much left. I don't know what that was. Was that the Dragon's Wrath crossbows? No, it was the Blacklock Engineers. Jeez, that was insane. Just taking out so many of the Haven Guard right there. I mean, might as well just charge them forward now. Because there's really no chance for Dol Amroth or the Highland player to get out of this alive. Here's the unfortunate truth. You can see a lot of Arnor's forces being moved forward right now. You can see what's left of his elites as well. You can see some Dunedain Wardens, Arnor Gate Guards, dismounted Dunedain Knights, dismounted Arthedain Knights, Arnor Pikemen, a few Arthedain Men-at-Arms. Oof, those Mithril Guard are going to just absolutely cut down those Haven Guard. Oof. We'll take a quick look over here at the False Lords and the Mithlon Nobles. False Lords still fighting strong, but there are some Arnor Pikemen being moved in. And Mithlon Nobles and Sindar Blade Masters are fighting against these Sons of the Fallen. And over here, the fight has actually started. You can see, oh, those poor Heavy Goblin Halberd just getting absolutely annihilated by that Cav. Again, I've already said it, but I'll say it again. Having Cav late in the game is extremely, extremely important and very effective. There actually still is quite a decent amount of troops over here, but I really do not know if it's enough. I mean, there still are a lot of Heavy Goblin crossbows that are out of ammo. These Galadrim Veteran Warriors and the Sindar Archers will do absolutely great in melee. The Blackbacks will of course do good, but they have been fighting for a long time in melee, so most of the hit points are gone. Bodyguard isn't bad, and those Wooden Warriors and Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen will just do okay. So I really don't know. It really could go either way at this point. It just really the main question right now is, do the defenders have enough to deal with the Dwarves and Arnor? Heavy Goblin Infantry taking a pretty brutal charge by that Bodyguard. Really not the wisest thing to just kind of throw away this unit of Heavy Goblin Infantry. I mean, it is cheap, but still, it's just kind of like throwing away, unnecessarily. Heavy Goblin Halberds are still there, Blackwatch Legion. But, I mean, yeah, the best you could really do with that, Heavy Goblin Infantry is just get him up on that hill with the rest of your units, which isn't a bad idea. Looks like he's actually trying to chase down some bring down some Galadrim Veteran Warriors to chase down the Cav, which is really not a great idea, because you don't want to submit your elites like that, elites to Cav charges. Look over here. Watch the last stand, because the Dol Amroth general was cut down by the Mithril Guard. False Lords have been completely killed off, except for... Oh wait, what? I'm so confused. It says there's 45 of them left, but I only see this one guy getting beat down. Or there's a couple. They over here? Oh, what the... Oh, looks like they were like trying to maybe chase down some Khazad-dûm Reclaimers or Blackwatch Legion. Yeah, that's what they were doing. Okay. Rather surprising. Mithlon Nobles still fighting, still at 36 there. Of course, a very elite unit. Incredible in melee and incredible with their bows. They have some really awesome range. They are also AEP, but they are incredibly expensive. Ooh, Ironfoot Axe Throwers throwing them right into the backs, or sides, I guess you would call it, of the Flawless Lords. That was rather interesting. He charged his Flawless Lords at the Blackhawk Engineers, but decided not to continue fighting them, even though they're not being given any support. So I don't know. To each his own, I guess. Let's take a look. Yeah, so Haven Guard are all gone. So it looks like Dol Amroth is pretty much gone at the moment. Yeah, they're all dead. And we'll take a look over here, see how the Cav is doing against what is over here. Not a bad idea to have the heavy goblin crossbows here. I mean, if he does decide to cycle charge the crossbows, they will get absolutely wrecked. But at least it is, of course, not your elites getting cycle charged. Yeah, I mean, if it looked like the Troll Slayers still had ammo. So if they still have ammo when they come over here to try to kill the Orcs of the Misty Mountains, it will definitely make things easier for the attackers. Not to mention the fact that there are these Dragon's Wrath crossbows. Crossbowmen, I should say, but I do not know actually if they have ammo or not. Because we did see the crossbows fire at those Haven Guard, and they do have very little ammo. And as they're holding their swords out, they probably don't have any ammo left, which definitely is good for the defenders. Looks like the Troll Slayers are actually being committed, and you just saw there the High Elven General being taken out. And the Elder Nobles are getting killed as well. What is going on over here? What's getting chased? I'm confused. Oh, there's one Heavy Goblin Halberd. Okay, so I guess we'll go ahead and speed this up again, just to watch the final fight between the Lothlorien, between Lothlorien, Orcs of the Misty Mountains, versus Arnor, the Dwarves, and a little bit of Rhun. Gundabad, of course, has been dead for a while at this time. With our Nolder Elder Nobles down to 7, 3, 2, 1. And maybe, yep, they're all dead. Okay, and that is it for the High Elves, it looks like, except for there could be a Flawless Lord over here. Nope, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, I was going to say something, but then I forgot. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. So, both Gundabad, Dol Amroth, and the High Elves are all completely dead. Arnor still has a lot left. He still has quite a few elites. These Arnor Gate Guards are incredibly deadly. Still, one unit of dismounted Arthurian Knights, one unit of dismounted Dunedain Knights, some Dunedain Wardens, and a little bit of his other infantry over here. The Dwarven player still has a lot of elites. He still has Mithril Guard, Ironfoot Axe Throwers, Ironfoot Guard, Khazad-dûm Reclaimers, as well as some airborne infantry. But his army has been noticeably reduced, actually, by the last stand of the High Elves and Dol Amroth. And Rhun only has a few units of cavalry, as well as these Dragon's Wrath crossbowmen. Who... Yeah, they look like they're out of ammo, because they're just carrying their swords instead of their crossbows. Looks like Arnor may be the first to the in the fight over here. The good thing, anyway, for these Tundra's Fox and Master Blaster is that their units have been resting, even though they're still exhausted, a few of them anyway. So I really don't know what's going to happen. I mean, it's just so close. It's so close. Were they actually getting shot a little bit? I don't know. Interesting. Really don't know what's going on over there with the cavalry. Dunedain Troll Slayers are marching forward. So yeah, it's been a really insanely close battle so far. Oh. He must have had 2 units of Dunedain Troll Slayers, because there are still 3 of them that are firing. But then his general's unit still is 56, it looks like. Where are those blackbacks? I assume they're hiding somewhere. There's still that bodyguard unit. Still Glider and Veteran Warriors and Sindar Archers.
We're under attack.
Ah, okay. I don't know. Don't do that. What is he doing? Why is he charging his stuff forward? You had an incredibly awesome defensive position, and now you're just wasting it to charge forward. I mean, 3 archers aren't going to do that much damage, are they? But then again, I guess he might think that these Dragon's Breath crossbows do have ammo, because that, of course, would really wreck his units. But if he's just going to charge straight into these Arnor, Pikemen, and Wardens, kind of defeats the purpose of his whole defensive position over there. But Tundra's Fox is also bringing forward his units, which is definitely a good idea. You shouldn't ever split up your forces like this when you each have so little left. Glider and Veteran Warriors will be able to do quite a number on these Dunedain Wardens and Arnor Pikemen. However, if they use all of their expensive units on the cheap stuff, they're not going to have enough to face the rather elite units that Arnor still has left. Not to mention the fact that the Dwarves still have some pretty elite things left, like the Mithril Guard. Airborne Infantry is pretty good, same with Khazad Reclaimers, and the Blacklock Engineers as well. Guards of Khazad back there as well. Let's see. So he's really hasn't even attacked them. Heavy Goblin crossbows are moving forward, as well as those Blackbacks. Sindar Archers. Yeah, there's a lot of elites right here. The Blackbacks, Sindar Archers, and Galadrim Veteran Warriors are all right here fighting against these dismounted Dunedain Knights, as well as the dismounted Arthedain Knights and the Gatekeepers. So who will win? I mean, it's really just been so close up till this point. Let's take a look at the percentages. 91% to 90%, so it's within 1% right now. Definitely a super fun battle. Oof. The Galadrim Veteran Warriors are doing very well against those dismounted Dunedain Knights. Looks like there are actually some Camille's Dragon Knights being committed, maybe? No, they looked like they had charged. But no, they did not. Well, they did not stay there. Ooh, yeah, okay. These, even against things like the Orc Bodyguards, these Arnor Gate Guards will really, really do good. I mean, you saw in that last video, there were like 123 of them in the unit. And, yeah, there were like 123 of them in the unit. They've been fighting against Isengard mid-tier stuff for like forever, and they hadn't even lost a like one man. So, they're a pretty insane unit. Looks like Tundra's Fox is trying to reposition his bodyguard. Still 95 dismounted Arthedain Knights. Oh my. The Rhun Warriors are charging out. Not a great idea. Just because they got instantly wrecked by the Camille's Dragon Knights. Probably would have been better just to sit there and wait for more infantry to be brought up. I mean, he probably would have cycle charged it either way, but still. I don't know. I don't know. Dismounted Arthedain Knights and dismounted Dunedain Knights are starting to take pretty heavy casualties. Bodyguard are trying to maybe wrap around this flank of the Arthedain Knights, but the Dunedain Troll Slayers and Bodyguard of Rhun are stopping them. Oh, looks like some heavy armored crossbows actually managed to sneak around this area and charge right into the back of those Dunedain Wardens. However, what this is doing is just really thinning out their line right here as well as this edge. Again, what is with the left edge? The left side of the battle lines have been crumbling this whole battle pretty much. Looks like the Galadrim veteran warriors are actually being taken out of the fray and probably going to be recommitted somewhere else. Yes, they are. Oh man, I just don't know. It's been such a close battle. I don't know who's going to win. 93 to 95%. Yeah, it's still incredibly close. Within 2%. Still are 87 gate guards. Oof, yeah, this whole left flank is starting to crumble, really withering away. There's pretty much nothing over there for the defenders. Looks like there's not too many blackbacks either. Still quite a few of the bodyguard. Even very depleted, those blackbacks are still a very good unit. Oh man. Cinder Archers looks like they were maybe trying to chase down those Camille's Dragonites, but again, I feel like this is probably a mistake. They're just going to get caught and then cycle charged. I feel like what you probably should have done is take these Cinder Archers and just put them right over here. Maybe try to protect this area. Looks like he's not going to do it. Okay. I don't know what's going to go on right now. The whole middle of this fight has pretty much been won by the attackers. There's still 77 gate guards. Galadrim veteran warriors are being taken in and out of the fight. And there goes the Lorien general. You shouldn't really have to worry about the morale actually, though, just because they are Galadrim veteran warriors and Cinder Archers. That's all he has left pretty much. I mean, these Stone Heavy Swordsmen are wavering, but there's only 7 of them left, so should not be too much of an issue, morale-wise. It's not like the Orcs of the Misty Mountains who or Khand really, have pretty terrible morale. Ooh, yeah, I feel like this is probably going to be a victory for the attackers. I mean, I don't know, but just because they have quite a few elites left, I mean, they have the Arnor Gate Guards, Erebor Infantry, a lot of Mithril Guard, not to mention those Kumul's Dragonites over there. But again, I don't know. I mean, it's still, what? Still 96 to 98%. Still within 2%, so it's really still can go either way. Oh, and there goes the Orcs of the Misty Mountains General, taken out by a Dunedain Troll Slayer. Looks like those Dunedain Wardens are trying to get around the flank. Still are 45 Cinder Archers. Just having a far off stare down, it looks like, with those Camille's Dragon Knights. Nope, okay, now they're maybe being committed down here, or trying to get down here. Probably should have just left them over here, but I don't know. What do I know? Mithril Guard actually taking quite a beating by these Galadrim veteran warriors, down to 32 now. Ooh, the general of the Dwarven player actually getting a kill right there, it looked like. Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's just so close. There's still quite a few Dunedain Troll Slayers, still 62 Gate Guards, and 39 Infantry. Not to mention that flank right there is pretty deadly. Especially because there's only 42 bodyguards left. I really don't know. I mean, it's just so close right now. Ooh, the Dwarven General might get killed, though. He's kind of off by himself, getting almost stunlocked, maybe. Oh, he's just parrying their blows left and right, just parrying. Oh. Charged in the back by the Ironfoot Guard and the Blackhawk Engineers. Blackhawk Engineers are, of course, AP with their little hammers. And it looks like the Galadrim Veteran Warriors are kind of being forced into a little, like, almost circle-ish formation. So this is going to be pretty much the last stand for them. But you can see the Cinder Archers being brought forward, so they can get a nice charge off, especially on something like these Gate Guards. There still is hope. 97.99, still within 2%. So before we get any further, we'll take a quick look at the the bodies. I mean, there's still a lot right here of bodies. Surprisingly, a lot of bodies there. Let's look over here where the two orc factions were fighting against each other. I mean, just look at that. That's insane. There's so many dead orcs right there, and just the whole way up is just littered with the dead bodies of the Gundabad players' forces who were shot down by the crossbows and archers of Tundra's Fox. I definitely think he got a lot of kills right there. A lot of dead Dunedain Rangers over here. Quite a few dead Lothlorien troops, as well as some Arnor forces right here. Ooh, pretty horrendous battle line right there, actually. The last stand of both the High Elves and the Dol Amroth player was right here as well. Actually, a lot of the Sons of the Fallen were taken out by those Noldor Elder Nobles. And then over here was the two very, very long, very huge battle lines. A lot of dead forces right here. The second battle line, rather. This is the first one. And there was a lot of cav charges, actually, and there's also a lot of dead clan crossbows and skirmishers over here. A lot of dead Balkoth tribesmen. So yes, definitely a really, really nice battle so far. I'm really grateful to Pharaoh for sending this to me. Oh no, this is not bode well for these Cinder Archers. They might get cycle charged by the Camille's Dragon Knights. Oh, they're charging. The horn blew, but they got one on the. Oh, never mind. Take it back. They got a few on that charge. 97.99 still. Arnor Gate Guard's still going strong. Still a few Dunedain Wardens. Still quite a few Troll Slayers in Mithril Guard, and there are still actually 10 Galadrim Veteran Warriors. Which is the brave stand of this dude. Oh, dang, he got a kill. He killed one of those dismounted Arthedain Knights. Good job. Well, probably has killed a few of them, but you know, just what we've seen anyway. Ooh. Let's see. I don't know who that was. It was probably like Dol Amroth or the High Elves. Because I don't. Yeah. It's probably Dol Amroth or the High Elves. Or possibly Gundabad or the Orcs of the Eastern Armies. $97 to 100% now, so it's within 3%. Cinder Archers are still at 22, but they are getting cut down relatively quickly by these Mithril Guard and Arnor Gate Guards. So I feel like, yeah, it looks like that's pretty much going to be it for the defenders. It was definitely a super, super cool battle. Oh, actually there goes the Arnor General right at the very last. That sucks. It sucks bad for Arnor. Anyway, yeah, so definitely a brave, brave fight put up by both the attackers and the defenders. It was super fun to commentate over. Let's see if they can get it within 2%. 97 to 100. Look at this guy. Stabbing that Camille's Dragon Knight over and over. Oh, dang, he was then able to kill him. Oh, can he kill? Oh, I was hoping he would have killed the general, but that's okay. Who is even left? One Cinder Archer. Oh, and there he goes. Killed by a Dunedain Troll Slayer. So 97 to 100%. That was an insanely close battle. It was super, super cool to commentate over. Most kills for the attackers goes to Mario's 62 with 1900. Not far behind was Arturos, then Pharaoh, and then the last in kills was Ragnar. Tundra's Fox getting the most kills for his team, getting 2,286 kills. Master Blaster got a lot of kills, and both Son of the Dunedain and Baconfish 302 got pretty even kills. We'll take a quick look at what got the most kills. Oh, 195 for the Blackguard, 266 for the Hammer Guard, and 102 for the Snow Trolls. And the Guardians of Cardinum getting a lot of kills. I assume most of those kills came from the kind of like mid to low tier stuff like the Heavy Goblin Infantry, but still. And everything else just did kind of okay, really. Catapult only getting 16 kills. But, yes, so thank you for watching. It was super fun to commentate over. Again, thank you to Pharaoh for sending the battle replay to me. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please comment, like, and subscribe. If you didn't, just tell me what I did wrong, and I'll be sure to fix it for the next video. And farewell wherever you fare, till your Armies receive you at your journey's end.